to jump into the video game. In theory. Ooh, mostly there. Alright. Yes, we're playing Foxglove, Toreador, I believe. Choose. Yay! I'm gonna drink some more magic juice. You can see through it. Ooh. Ooh. Still not over the magic of green screens. Or Mountain Dew, for that matter. I opened a thing. I opened all the things. For the most part. Okay, let's go see our friend D'Angelo. It's been some time since you last visit at the Red Hook. You should probably take time to get back to D'Angelo and see if he's managed to figure out how to handle Santa. Mountain Dew is the nectar of the gods. It's terrible for you. Don't drink it. I opened the box! Yay! Okay. As you make your way up the stairs, you notice that D'Angelo's office is surprisingly quiet. You are half expecting something akin to a scene from The Exorcist, with Santa belching out curses and your companion sprinkling her with whatever it is vampires use for holy water. What you witness instead as you open the door is the picture of serenity. Oh, you can't take the sky from me. The girl, although still curled up in the corner, is sitting calmly with her eyes fixed on the pages of some pulpy detective novel. That was a Freudian slip. She doesn't even register your presence. Sitting behind his desk, D'Angelo seems to be looking over some files, puffing on his usual brand of cigar. Seeing no trace of Larson, thank you, you assume he must have gone back to his family. Noticing your presence, the vampire detective leans back in his chair and gives you a tired look.
Hey there, kid. Glad you can make it.
Oh, I wouldn't miss this for the world. Any luck with Santa? Is she actually reading? I'm surprised she's actually able to focus on a book.
She's not dumb, you know. Just really fucking scattered. Figured I'd give her something to focus on. Seems to be working. Calmed her down at the very least. As to how much she's actually getting out of the riveting narrative, your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, I've been going over the case files, mulling over options. Surprise, surprise, they all suck donkey dick. No matter how we go about this, someone gets fucked over. Her, Larson, us.
No worries, thanks, Bronze. Oh gosh, feel better. We have case files? We have those?
Hey, say what you will about me, but I take my work seriously. And as my faithful assistant, you should too. So here's what we can do. 1. We grab Santa and take her to Elysium and make a case for her to Prince Ponard. 2. We get Valerie to back off by feeding her the dirt I got on Larson. 3. We try to get Santa out of the city. Come on, kid. I can hear them thoughts bouncing around in your head from over here. Out with it.
Elysium? Isn't that a death sentence? What do you have on Larson? Get her out of the city, and then what? Let's see. Let's find out what he has on Larson. What kind of dirt do you have on Larson anyway? Must be some serious shit.
Oh, it is. A few years back, the Second Inquisition led a coordinated assault on New York kindred. Operation Lights Out, they called it. Nasty fucking business, that was. A lot of good vampires died. Some of them I knew personally. Larson was one of the Inquisition's first targets, but when they got to him, he managed to convince them to spare his life. In exchange, he fed them info on a fellow Camarilla member, one Nicky the Chop. Suffice it to say, Nicky didn't make it through the night.
Get her out of the city, and then what? Assuming we can get her out of the city, what makes you think she won't kill again?
Hey, I ain't just gonna let her loose on another state and forget about it. I got some people up north. People I can trust. They might be able to help her. At the very least, keep her safe and make sure she doesn't do anything stupid. Okay, time's wasted. What do you think we should do?
You're letting me decide?
Look, kid, I've been at it all day, mulling it over, and all I got for my trouble was a splitting headache. I just don't know anymore. All I'm asking for is your honest opinion. Just pick one and make a case. Convince me it's the right thing to do. Or the least wrong, at least. So one more time. Bring the girl to Elysium, trade her life for Larson's, or sneak her out of town. Which one would you go with?
Ah! Okay, Elysium does not seem reasonable. I don't think that will go over well at all. Larson should answer for his crime. Interesting, but we are better having Larson on our side. Larson is the thin blood, right? I think. Hey, thank you. I think let's get her out of the city might be the best call. Because then we have a bargaining chip. Hey, Splattercat! Let's try to get her out. Maybe we can put her on a train without anyone noticing. Maybe we can get her some help once she's out of harm's way.
That's a lot of maybes. What if we get caught? What if a fit comes over her on the way? What if she kills again? You're willing to live with that?
I'd better be.
So be it. Fuck.
Uh-oh, I hope I made the right choice.
Do me a favor, kid. Watch her for a few minutes, okay? I gotta make some arrangements to make a few calls.
He catches himself, looks at you with an expression of the phoniest of phony guilt.
But not like with a phone or anything, because, that would make me a naughty boy, which I'm clearly not.
He walks out of the office. Through the frosted windows, you see him instantly go for his clamshell phone. Screw it. Does it really make a difference at this point? Hey, Critter Nation. You turn to the girl, who still has her nose in the book. Hell of a week, huh? You like the book? I hope you're ready. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but I sure as hell hope you're ready for what's coming. She looks up from the book, and her eyes glaze over. I forget what I did for her. Something like, coming, soon. A shiver runs down your spine. You decide it's best to leave her to her reading and spend the next few minutes in complete silence. Finally, D'Angelo staggers back into the room.
All right, I called in a favor with my friends from up north. They're sending someone to get Santa when she's out of the city. All we need to do is get her on a train.
He walks over to Santa and crouches beside her. Speaking softly, he takes the book out of her hands and gently strokes her hand. Nope, gently strokes her head.
Hey, darling, I need you to listen very carefully. We're gonna go on a little trip, okay? You need to stay quiet and stay close to me. Can you do that?
She squints, trying her best to concentrate, then nods emphatically.
All right, then.
He turns to you and nods as well. Hey, Osborne. Looks like it's go time. The nearby metro station serves as a good starting point for Santa's getaway. Crowded enough to blend in, but not enough to lose sight of the girl. You take the escalator and make your way up the platform. Minutes pass in tense silence as you await for the train to arrive. Finally, the steel behemoth worms its way onto the station. D'Angelo turns to Santa, grabbing her by the shoulders to get her attention.
All right, Santa, listen to me very carefully. This train will get you out of the city. A friend of mine will meet you at the last stop. You'll know it's him because he'll say my name. Remember my name?
She squints, trying her best to concentrate. D'Angelo.
Close enough.
Something akin to a smile creeps onto her face. It's as close to happy as you've seen her. Gift, not hurt. D'Angelo returns her smile.
You're welcome.
And with that, she walks onto the train. She stops for a moment, looks back, and gives you one last look of hope. As she disappears among the other passengers, D'Angelo lets out a grunt of relief. Suddenly, you feel a hand on your shoulder. Gentle at first, it quickly turns into a vice grip. You look at D'Angelo and notice a hand on his shoulder as well. Don't move a muscle. Try to break free, try to warn Sana, or don't move a muscle. Let's go with opting to play it cool for now. You stay perfectly still. As your muscles relax, so does the grip on your shoulder. There we go, nice and easy. Once again, you look over at D'Angelo. He looks ahead with a pained expression on his face. I'm curious, D'Angelo. How exactly did you think this was going to play out? You put the girl on the train, and she gets picked up by your Chicago friends, magically gets better, I'm none the wiser, and we all live happy ever after. He tightens his grip on your shoulder and gives you a little shake. At least this one has the excuse of being young and stupid. But you should fucking know better. If you had brought her to me, this would have been over quickly, painlessly. As it stands now, I can't guarantee it. As the wheels of the train start rolling, you notice a familiar silhouette in one of the train windows. Valerie. The Scourge smiles at you. She looks sickeningly eager, like a fox who's found its way to the henhouse. She blows you a kiss as the train rolls its way out of the station. Now then, what am I supposed to do with you? It was my idea? We did the right thing. We apologize. I think we apologize might be the way to go. I apologize for myself and my partner. We acted brashly. It won't happen again.
Shut up, kid. I don't need a lawyer.
Show some gratitude, D'Angelo. You're in deep shit. The fledgling is simply trying to get you out of it. Remorse, however pitiful, is certainly one way to do it. So here's what's going to happen. You fucked up. Big time. I'm counting this as a one-time make-or-break strike on both of your records. From now on, I will be keeping an eye on you. If I catch either of you so much as even farting in a way that displeases me, I promise you will not wake up the next night.
Interesting dialogue.
In the meantime, I fully expect you to make up for this. You're on thin fucking ice, and I want to see some nice twirling and tiptoeing around before I let you back onto firm ground. Limber up, kiddos.
So people have a pleasing way of farting for him? You feel the grip on your shoulder loosen. With Kadir's hands, you no longer in your peripheral vision. You turn back. As one would expect, there's no sign of the sheriff anywhere. Once more, you turn to D'Angelo. He remains as he was, looking ahead, staring off into space. How does he judge which farts are pleasurable? What are the parameters of an acceptable fart?
I killed her.
We killed her. Kadir and Valerie killed her. You did your best. You tried to save her. If anyone's the killer here, it's Kadir and Valerie.
Kadir does what he's ordained to do. And as for Valerie, she's just a tool.
Harsh?
I can't be mad at a scorpion for using its stinger. No, this one's on me.
There are more to people than scorpions, D'Angelo. Clear skies.
I really thought I could save her.
Not really knowing what to say, you lift your hand to pat him on the back. You stop yourself mid-motion. Somehow it doesn't seem like the thing to do. You leave the station and head back to Red Hook. On your way, you keep thinking about Santa and whether now is the exact moment where Valerie brings her final death. It's not a pleasant journey. Slowly, clumsily, you make your way back to the grain terminal. No words are spoken, no bad jokes made, no monologues muttered, and no smiles exchanged. There's only silence and vacant stares. As you head up the stairs to D'Angelo's office, you can feel the tension rising. You can tell the moldy sleuth has reached a breaking point. He walks into his office and leans against his cluttered desk. You figure now is as good a time as any to break the silence. You should probably rest. Are you going to be okay? Get it together. Are you going to be okay? The moment you finish your sentence, D'Angelo leans over and sweeps all of the stuff all of his stuff off of the desk. Notepads, bits of paper, and what looks like a cheap imitation of an antique lamp, it all comes crashing to the floor. It doesn't stop there as he grabs a heavy file cabinet and knocks it over. Slowly but surely, the once quiet office turns into a heap of crumpled paper and broken furniture. The tantrum lasts for mere seconds, but as you stand there watching, it feels like forever. Finally, D'Angelo stops and looks up at the ceiling. It's hard to tell if he's had enough or simply run out of stuff to throw around. As he stands there, slowly regaining composure, one of the objects scattered on the floor catches your eye. It's a small paperback novel, the same you saw Santa reading earlier tonight. It must have landed there while D'Angelo was giving the room a royal thrashing. You pick it up. In huge letters, the title on the cover spells, "The Longest Night and Other Stories." The smaller caption underneath reads, "Another collection of stories from the Gianni D'Angelo saga." What in the actual fuck? You flip it over and are immediately drawn to the picture on the back cover. If not for a lack of flaky skin and distorted features, you'd say the guy looks very familiar. The name next to the picture, Reginald Finch. You stand there, not even knowing where to start. Even in his current state, D'Angelo, or whatever his name is, remains one step ahead of you. Evening, El Cara.
Yeah, that's me in the picture. That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight. Losing my religion. Okay. Reggie fucking Finch. Haven't seen him in a while. Wasn't planning to.
You took on the name of your character? Who the hell are you? You lied to me. You named yourself after one of your characters? Says the person named Foxglove, losing my religion.
Afraid it's more than that. I sort of became him. See, Reggie Finch was a pushover, a small-time journalist and a wannabe writer. He would never survive out there, among the coteries of New York.
Ah, you said the name of the thing in the thing. It's there. There it is. There's the name. He said it. There it is. Thanks for hosting me, Blessed Raven.
Gianni D'Angelo, on the other hand. Honestly, it just sort of happened. Guess it was the only way I could make sense of it all. I mean, once you wake up looking like this, realizing your life and all that you were is gone forever, you can't really blame me for trying to at least make it interesting.
It's okay to be D'Angelo. I guess to some extent, we all put on an act in front of others. Yup. We make up characters, idealized versions of ourselves. It gives us something to live up to. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still weird, but it's not that weird. D'Angelo. Yay! Acknowledge a chosen name! For a moment, he seems to be mulling over what you just told him. Finally, he picks the ashtray up off the floor. Rummaging through the ashes, he finds a mangled, half-finished cigar. He sticks it in his mouth and lights it up, the lighter's flame reflecting in his shades. Ooh, dangerous. He smiles at you, ever so slightly.
Thanks, kid.
Is the red in his eyes slowly brightening? I think it is. It's slowly fading in and out. And so's the cigar.
Tell you what, how about you take the rest of the night off? I need some time to get my shit in order. Starting with this office. Some dumb assholes made one hell of a mess of it.
You smile and nod. He nods back.
I'll be seeing you.
And so, you leave him to his thoughts. No way to be sure, but you have a feeling he's gonna be alright. Oh, I got an achievement called Bye, My Lovely. That was kind of nice. And I have a feeling that Sana got away. There's no way. She was reading those detective novels. I think that was a decoy. That's my prediction. Sophie requests your presence tonight, and it seems urgent. You find her already waiting for you and clearly pondering something. It takes a few minutes of awkward silence before she speaks. I require your assistance, Foxglove. There is a matter of great importance that I need to ask you to resolve for me. You will find what I'm about to say surprising, I'm sure, but I need you to hear me out. I need you to contact an important Anarch figure in NYC and arrange a meeting for us. Aren't meetings with Anarchs forbidden? What up? Hello. Seeing as anything X says 3 times comes true, is Gary Oldman still alive? But here's the thing. X makes predictions, and things that are said in season 1 may not come true until season 7, or maybe season 4, or maybe it happened in season 3 when we weren't looking. Who knows? Gary Oldman's fine, I'm sure. Aren't meetings with Anarchs forbidden? I'll be setting a trap, right? What business do you have meeting Anarchs? That meeting. It's a trap, right? You need me to set it up so that you can deal a blow to them? Oh. You keep X's hands off Gary. I can't promise anything. No, not immediately anyway. I intend to meet with them in good faith. I realize how ridiculous that may sound to you. You will find that with this, as with many other things, the Camarilla's policies have more than their share of hypocrisy inherent in them. It comes hand in hand with using medieval power structures. What we are forbidden to do, the prince may do willingly. Some of these things can be done in the open, while others are kept secret as to not invite discord and discontent. I need to contact a man named Torque. He's an influential member of the movement and, like most of them, very suspicious of the Camarilla. That's why I'm sending you to extend my invitation. How do you know he'll talk to me? Why me? Why not go yourself? What are you scheming? How do I know he'll even talk to me? He won't. Not yet, anyway. You need to start further down the chain, and with the right story to spin. From my limited sources adjacent to the movement, I've gathered that your best chance to speak with Torque is to first meet with his right-hand woman, Mia. She's a regular at a club called the Leech Pit. I think it would be best if you presented yourself as an Anarch hopeful, a fledgling looking for a place of belonging. Only after you talk to Torque directly should you mention my name in the meeting. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. It sounds risky. Lying to them won't make them trust me. I don't think that's the right approach. Lying to them won't make them trust me. When they find out the truth, they won't be happy or eager to work with us. That might be true, but if you tell Mia outright that I sent you, she's likely to cut you off. She hates our sect, and will be difficult for her to make her listen to reason. After tonight, I suggest that we do not speak of this again until you arrange the meeting. There are many who would jump at a chance just to use this against us. With Kaiser, you have proven you can get the job done, even if it requires additional legwork. I trust you to deal with this task as quickly and covertly as possible. Forgive me, but that's all the time I can spare tonight. What I'm asking of you is just a part of a bigger whole. Trust me, it will all be worth it. I'll do my best. It better be. I'm risking my neck here. I haven't agreed to do this yet. Okay, I'll do my best. I know you will. Check with Gregory for the address of the Leech Pit. Have Mia introduce you to Torque. When she does, tell him I wish to meet. Let him pick the time and place, but let it be soon. If he proves too guarded, tell him I have something that will help him gather allies against Boss Callahan. That should pique his interest. Good luck, and obviously not a word about this to anyone else, not even any new friends you might have made in recent nights. This stays between us. The way she said that final sentence suggests a not-so-veiled threat, but her warm smile belies that impression. You want her to keep trusting you. You wouldn't want to disappoint her. Gregory gives you the address. The club is in Brooklyn. Apparently it's some kind of heavy metal bar with a dedicated concert space. Time to pay this Mia a visit. Whoa! Whoa! This feels like a full motion video game. The FMV games, do you remember those? From forever ago? I loved them. The place is teeming with people tonight. You arrive in the middle of a concert. The music is loud, almost deafening, and it takes you a while to get used to it. Yay! Back from dinner with some red wine. Nice. The noise hurts your ears. This venue isn't suitable for this kind of music, and none of the instruments sound the way they should. The cacophony sets you on edge. This is very heavy metal. Did I play Contradiction? I did not. A group of a few dozen patrons are tightly packed together, and the smell of their sweat and youthful, excited blood overwhelms you momentarily. It's with some difficulty that you turn to the task at hand. You've heard your share about the anarchs and how they fit into kindred politics, but you only have your short encounter in Corona Park on which to base your actual opinion of the faction. That might have just been a horrible first impression, but you're keeping your guard up, just in case. Mingle with the crowd. Ask for Mia at the bar. All specs try to locate me in the crowd. Whenever I get a power, I gotta use the power. Sharpening your senses in a place like this is a huge gamble. You try doing it slowly, bit by bit, so the loud sounds and lights don't dull your perception. A face flashes before your eyes in the mosh pit that just formed in front of the stage. Were those fangs? You're pretty sure you saw fangs on one of the girls. A short pause in the music lets you take a closer look. Yeah, she's different from the others. You notice small details. No perspiration. The paleness of her skin. Here goes nothing. Heard you're into anarchy. Ooh, that's a rough first line. I'm new to being dead. Ooh, that's not better. I want to learn about anarchy. Oh no, we need a better line. Yikes. She's just an indoor kid. Maybe I want to learn about anarchy. I'm interested in learning a bit about anarchy. You wouldn't happen to have some first-hand experience, would you?
Seriously? That's the best line you came up with?
She doesn't smile, but she doesn't hit you either. Is your paleness anemia? That's a good opening line. Hey, Hit Boy 2727.
Follow me behind the bar.
She leads you through the bar to a back door that leads into a side room. Indie metal band posters are plastered on every wall, some of them 20 or more years old, judging from the tour dates. An old sticky table and some rickety chairs are the only pieces of furniture here. I don't want any furniture to be described as sticky, ever. For any reason.
Sit down.
Sure, I think I'm comfortable. Why don't you sit down? Okay, that's a reasonable request. Pick your battles. Sure. You take a seat as the woman leans against one of the walls.
The name's Mia. I'm guessing your visit here isn't a happy coincidence. I don't know you. So you're either new to New York or kept an outstandingly low profile. Both sound suspect. So before we take these pleasantries further, answer me this. Who do you run with?
Sophie Langley? Camarilla, but I'm looking to switch. I'm independent. I could play the independent angle. I'm independent. I don't bow to anyone. I'm not supposed to mention Sophie Langley anyway.
Isn't that adorable? Listen, fledgling, you don't get to be this fresh in the game and not pick a side. Those Second Inquisition fucks are all too happy to pick on a delusional kid like you. So are the Cams. They offer you rewards aplenty for your servitude, but never actually deliver. Fortunately for you, there's another option. But before I get to that, let's get one thing out of the way.
She leans in.
If this is some clever ploy to oust me from my domain, or if you're just here to spy on me in the movement, I'll make sure that you don't enjoy undeath much longer. Got it?
You can tell it's a purely rhetorical question. Yeah, you can kind of make your character in Coteries of New York, Hit Boy. You sort of pick your clan and customize it to some extent.
Right. Here's the pitch. The Camarilla like to think they're the vanilla option, what with Prince Bitch Panhard pretending that they were always in charge. But New York has never been a fully cami city. They might have won the city in '99, but cams have had their asses handed to them many times over the years, and the movement has been here at least as long as they have. Hell, I moved to NYC before World War II, and that was a good while after I saw the Camarilla for what they are, a way to keep us all subservient and in line. The Ivory Tower will tell you there's only safeguard for traditions, and that's kind of the problem. There's only one tradition we in the movement feel should be respected. The Masquerade, obviously.
I love that everyone who streams just comes up with some ridiculous voices for the characters. Because there's so many characters, and it's the only way I can tell them apart.
Everything else, ask the prince, and she'll tell you it's the logical continuation of the Masquerade. But really, it's just a way to keep the elders powerful and in control.
She grimaces.
But here's the thing. For all the talk of us bloodsuckers being solitary creatures, we need a community to keep up the Masquerade. Community, yes, but authority? Not so much. We need a council of peers to keep the assholes and power-drunk fledglings in check, but not a feudal prince to tell you where to feed or who to hunt down when they step on our toes.
She takes a brief break from her indignant rant. So, you anarchs don't have a ruler? Sounds too good to be true. Structure is good. It brings order. That sounds too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Mia bares her teeth in a predatory smile.
You better believe it. Sure, we still have to struggle with the urges of our kind, but it's safer and more fair. We're as free as our condition permits, but unlike Tarkus, we don't stand alone. Nominally, a guy by the name of Callahan has been overseeing the movement's agenda in NYC for the past few decades. Most follow his lead.
So I should talk to Callahan? Most, but not you? Is Callahan like an anarch prince? I like that. Is Callahan like a kind of prince, but for anarchs?
Yeah, that's about right, which isn't the way things should be. If you're concerned about being well received in this city, you might need to go through Callahan. Yikes. But if you're serious about the anarch cause itself, he's not your guy.
Oh yeah, Tremere isn't an option for this one. Neither is Malkavian, to be fair.
Callahan eats up fledglings like you and shits out self-preservation. His position as Baron is mighty shaky now, not least due to the fact he's backstabbed more than his share of allies. So he's doing what any other old fart in position of power would do. He's doubling down. Negotiations are out. Intimidation is in. Tightening ranks is a precaution against the Second Inquisition.
She surprises you by hacking and spitting on the ground in disgust.
If you spent some time with the Cams, that should sound very familiar to you. He's no better than Panhard and her cronies are at this point.
Maybe I can get her to flip.
No, you need to contact Torque.
Oh, that's who I'm supposed to contact.
And wouldn't you know it, it's your lucky night, because I'm the lick to do it through.
Why Torque? How is Torque different? Why can't I just meet him? How is he different from Callahan? My voice narrating inside says, "Motherfucker, you're really asking for it." Her anger flares up again.
I'll pretend that was just a naive question and not a half-assed jab. Torque is a leader, a local baron who's overseeing a small domain, but doing a very good job of it. Callahan knows this, so he's giving him shit. Torque is taking it like a champ. He's smart like that. For one of us rebels, he's got the patience of a saint. Makes you think back to how things used to be way back when. if the stories are to be believed. Anyway, you want to come meet him? I'm going to require a show of goodwill first.
What do you have in mind? Or I can just ask elsewhere. No way. I think we should play a little hard to get. Or, you know, I could just walk out of here and ask any other anarch to direct me to this guy.
Ha! Smart. Only not really. See, Torque is gonna know you asked for him. I'm good at describing people in detail. If he sees you anywhere near his crib, you're gonna regret it. No hard feelings. It's just a safety measure. You get to him through me, or you don't get to him at all. Care to reconsider?
Okay, fine. What is it you need doing? She flashes you a mischievous half-smile.
I appreciate your readiness, but you don't have the details just now. Ask for me at the bar when you're able, and I'll leave something for you, and we'll take it from there. Now, come on. I gotta go.
She walks you out of the bar, and you go your separate ways. Seems like there's nothing more to do than return here later and see if Mia can really help you contact Torque. Oh, our friend, Frank Doherty, a shining example of journalistic excellence, is trying to get in touch with you. This can't mean anything good. Except... Visiting Sophie's Haven, the doorman stops you. You've been here enough times that he recognizes you and says there's a note left for you. You ask about the person who left the note, and the doorman gives a description that can only be Frank Doherty, the reporter. Hey, thank you. Ooh, the Tremere is in the shadows. Strauss? Oh no! A German channel recently played the first Vampire the Masquerade game. Hey, thank you. Thanks for subbing, Party Wipe Games. Good to see you. They had no clue what I was talking about. And then Jason Carl liked and retweeted their tweet. Yay! You are a member of the family now with Jason's blessing. Absolutely. Doherty's the type of pond shark who deserves to be turned into a thin blood. I could get behind that. Maybe I could do that.
I have what you asked. Everything. All the details. This is crazier than you can imagine. Come to meet me at the beautiful View Motel in Queens. I'm waiting for you.
Thank you, Stolen Tag. Stolen Tag? Is it German? Party Web Games with the Malkavian symbol. Ooh, ooh. The note is unsigned, but it's definitely Frank Doherty. On impulse, you return to the street. You didn't have anything important to do with Sophie anyway. It would be much better to come back with some real information. Stepping into beautiful View Motel, you can't help but think the name makes promises that the building fails to deliver. This looks like the haunted hotel in Santa Monica in Bloodlines. It could be German or Stolen Tag. It could be. It's tag-like label. Got it. Outside, there's nothing but an ugly parking lot. Empty. The paint marking the parking space is almost completely worn away. Standing in the lobby, it feels like there's decades worth of stale cigarette smoke. You're happy not being able to breathe anymore. The furniture looks like it was picked up from a yard sale in the 60s. There's something appropriate in the grubbiness of the surroundings. They fit the image you have of Frank perfectly. It's appropriate to find him in a place like this. Instead, I did a Solon fan art while watching the VOD. Oh, amazing. Solon is such a great NPC. Thank you guys so much for creating them. You nod to the old woman manning the reception desk. She seems totally uninterested in what you're doing, her eyes glued to the small TV perched on the desk. A cop show. Oh yeah, the Ocean House. Hey, Phobos99. Xander, my boy. Walking deeper into the motel, you find a lounge that might have aspired to a kind of lavish comfort in its glory days. Now it just feels sickly. Still feels sticky. Like you just need to wash your clothes afterwards. More furniture that is described as sticky. Frank sits on a bar stool. There's no bartender, but Frank has a shot glass in his hand. He looks even sweatier than usual. Frank fidgets with the glass in his hand as if he wants to give it a good impression, but couldn't suppress a nervous tick.
I hope you're ready, because I have everything you asked for. Frank Doherty is a professional, after all. Yes, indeed. They're trying to smear my name, but I get the story.
I hope your story is good. Can I have a drink? You look nervous. You'd
be nervous, too, if you've been fucked over as many times as I have.
The Dreamcatcher emote isn't a Dreamcatcher, but a broken mirror. Yeah. Oh, I never thought of it as as a Dreamcatcher. What is his voice?
It's Frank Doherty. Once they think you're a bad guy, they just start making up lies about you. It doesn't matter what's true and what isn't.
Frank seems to be in a strange mood, hard to read. Maybe it's just the alcohol speaking, but something is off about him. Who's they? Take it easy, pal. So, what have you got?
I think I'm depressed. I've been a long time. It's just so hard. The work is in my blood. I gotta be out there chasing the story.
You're not sure you can get anything out of Frank. He's throwing himself a pity party and decided to invite you. You decided to try one more time. I can help you. I didn't come here to hear you whine. We had a deal. Ah, that was scary back there. I'm your friend, Frank. I can help you. Frank sounds like he has plenty more bitterness inside of him waiting to come out.
Let me tell you something else.
An ear-splitting sound fills the lounge and a bright flash blinds you. For a second, an irrational panic grips your dead heart. Is this sunshine? Are you going to burn to death in a cheap motel in Queens? As your vision adjusts, something whizzes past you. There's a series of thunking sounds, something impacting the bar. Frank is lifting the shot glass, miraculously still in his hand. A massive blood stain spreads across his shirt. For a bizarre, incongruous moment, you stare at the thing sticking out of Frank's chest. Oh no! It's a crossbow bolt. Another two lie shattered next to the bar, having missed their targets. One missed you by a hair's breadth. Turning around, you see figures dressed in black tactical gear storming into the room in eerie silence. Perhaps the flashbang damaged your ears. They drop their tactical crossbows and lift up rifles. Who comes prepared with a crossbow? Frank slumps onto the floor. A wooden crossbow bolt will paralyze a vampire, but struck through a human heart, it kills. The scent of blood fills the air. Fight the assailants, make a run for it. They seem pretty well prepared to fight, so I think it's best for me to make a run for it. You're facing a highly trained force of well-armed commandos. There's only one thing to do. Run away. You don't even stop to think, just following your reflexes as you duck behind the bar and dive through a staff door as bullets hit the wall next to you. I think I have celerity, too. Who even uses wooden crossbow bolts anymore except vampire hunters? That's true. Yeah, the Malkavian mirror emote is the vampire clan symbol. The damn Inquisition! The Spanish Inquisition. Fortunately, the blessings of the blood don't care whether you're being brave or a coward. The blood speeds up your body as you rush through the back room, past the empty beer kegs and the half-full boxes of liquor bottles. Spotting a back door, you burst outside into the night. Running around the corner of the building, you see 4 SUVs parked by the motel's front door, all black with tinted windows. A man and a woman, middle-aged, dressed like detectives, stare at you in surprise as you run past them. So the Inquisition's MO is use crossbow bolts on the human and regular bullets on the vampire. Who's training these guys? Joss Whedon? One tries to yell something as you stumble to your car, wrench the door open, and turn on the ignition. For a terrifying moment, you fumble with the keys, but then the car starts and you floor it, careening into the highway. You run into Sophie's building just past the surprised-looking doorman. Time is of the essence. You pound on the door of Sophie's apartment, more for the sake of your own nerves than because you think it's any help. I'm excited for Season 4 of LA by Night. Yay! I got a tattoo in Madrid. Oh. Guess no one expects the Spanish ink precision. After a few moments, Sophie herself opens the door and looks at you in surprise. She doesn't have her makeup on and her hair is disheveled. You've caught her in a night off. What happened to you? As you step into the apartment and follow Sophie to her living room, you see the remains of a party. Empty glasses, a faint smell of blood in the air. You have no time to contemplate Sophie's social life, however. It was an ambush. I almost died. We're being hunted. We're all going to die! You're braver than you think. Sometimes you regret taking you under my wing. If you don't calm down, I'll feed you to whoever is after me. Sit down and stay calm. I'll check whether this apartment is still secure. You sit down, suddenly conscious of the vast gulf in experience between you and Sophie. She's managed to stay alive for a very long time and knows how to survive. We can't debate Sophie's choices. And technically I'm already dead. Okay. You only hope you'll survive along with her. Oof. For the next hour or so, you sit on Sophie's sofa, answering minute questions about Frank and the commandos who assaulted you. At intervals, she makes murmuring phone calls to mysterious contacts. After a longer while, Sophie lets you go. You should be safe, and more importantly, I should be safe too. I've taken measures to secure both of our havens, but keep your eyes open nonetheless. You leave Sophie's apartment wondering whether you'd survive another ambush like this. Achievement unlocked, journalistic intervention. Oh no, I miss Frank Doherty. Maybe if they leave, I can go back and I could turn Frank. And then we can live with him forever. Aww. Okay, well, I'm going to rest in game, but I'm also going to take a short break right here in real life, too. I encourage you to do the same. Take a quick bio break and do what you need to do. Get a snack or a drink, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. I'll see you in a bit. And I'm back. Hello. Oh, thanks for stopping by, you Sayara. Let's go visit Hope. Kara wants to meet. Hope decides you should see her alone with an ace up your sleeve. Oh, but I need to rest. That's right. That's what I was gonna do. Oh, right. You arrive at the Leech Pit, finding it less rowdy than the last time. The bar is still packed, but the dance floor is empty tonight. Instead, the old, crackling speakers are playing music that would probably sound like noise, even on high-end hardware. Mia is nowhere to be seen, but you do remember she requested that you ask for her at the bar. You approach the bar as the bartender finishes pouring a beer for an older guy in a faded, fraying Iron Maiden t-shirt. She turns to you. Ooh, I love her! What can I get you? Is Mia around? I was told to ask you about Mia. Did anyone leave a message for me? Hey, is Mia around? No, she's not in tonight. She looks you up and down, and a spark of recollection shines in her eye. Oh, yeah, that's right. She takes a well-worn book from behind the counter, some kind of YA vampire novel, and flips through it. She produces a piece of paper from between the book's pages and passes it to you. She told me you'd be interested in reading this. You find a relatively quiet corner and take a look at the note. T wants to meet you. I'll arrange it, but you need to prove you're trustworthy. Look around the Leech Pit for a guy named Bruce. Buff dude, tattoo sleeve on his right arm. I'm 90% sure he's somebody's retainer. Sent here to spy on us by the cam. Get me the name of his master and write it on this card, then return it to the bar. I want to see what they describe retainer as. A human who serves a vampiric master. Kindred rarely go without at least a few of these mortals, both for convenience and protection. The bartender looks like Ashley Johnson rocking Sam DeLev's haircut. Kinda, yeah. It doesn't take you long to locate this Bruce guy. He sits alone in a corner, 2 beer glasses already empty at his table. You take a moment to consider your approach. Okay, get him drunk and talkative. Ask for his master's name up front? No. Feeding opportunity, bar patron. I could feed on him, but then I wouldn't be able to get the information. Or presence, use the power, strike up a conversation. Let's use the power on the mortal. The man immediately notices you, but doesn't move from his spot. The other seats are empty. When you focus the blood to boost your attractiveness, it's not just Bruce who notices. He's into you. So are other people, doing double takes as they pass your table. Hey, wait, I thought you were supposed to... How does I know he has a sleeve tattoo if he's got a long sleeve shirt on? Anyway.
Hey, you. Have I seen you here before?
Yeah, probably. It's possible. I'm a regular. I don't think so. It's my first night here.
Hey, I'm lucky I'm here tonight, then.
Intimidate him to give you the name. Ask him about the name directly. Ask him about the name nicely. Ooh, let's try nicely. I know you're here because somebody asked you to spy on this place. It'd make me really happy if you gave me their name.
Wait, do you mean Sam?
He catches himself, realizes what you're doing. His eyes dart over your shoulder. You thought you had him cornered, but he suddenly leaps over the table in one smooth move and dashes through the sparse crowd. You catch up to him outside. He's bolting, all right. I have celerity. Catch up to him. Throwing caution to the wind, you focus your blood and give chase after Bruce. He might be faster than a human, but his abilities are a fraction of yours. He dashes into a nearby alley, and you follow suit. Before he can jump the fence, you tackle him to the ground. A short brawl later, you're standing a few meters apart, Bruce eyeing you with hatred. Tell him his cover is blown. Intimidate him with violence. Let's discuss it. Listen, your cover is blown. I was told who you are. You better come clean. Your master's name, that's all I need.
Bullshit. Besides, she'd kill me if I told you. And I quite like being alive.
Here's the deal. You tell me your master's name, and you save yourself a world of hurt. Unless you want to exit this alley on a stretcher, you'd better... Whack! Bruce doesn't wait for you to finish talking. He jumps at you, kicking and punching with dizzying speed. He takes you by surprise, and he puts you on the defensive. Just as you're about to retaliate, he breaks away, jumps the fence at the end of the alley, and is gone into parts of the city unknown. Shoot! Oh yeah, I noticed a few inconsistencies, like the thug in the park who's described as wearing a hood, but his picture just shows a hat but no hood. Huh. Time to leave something for Mia. You borrow a pen from the bar and flip Mia's note to the other side. Sam. And you know it's a she. That still leaves a lot of options. You could pull a name out of your ass or let Mia figure it out. Put down Samantha. Leave Mia all the info you have, or leave no name. Better to leave everything I have, not to make assumptions. Mia asked you for a name, but if all you have is a fragment in the gender, it'll have to do. You jot down a note. Bruce referred to his master as Sam and called her she. You pass the piece of paper to the bartender. She sticks it back into the same book.
Hold on 1 second. She wanted me to pass something on to you.
She produces a cell phone from behind the counter. It's ancient, at least 15 years out of date.
Oh, right in this.
An old charger for the piece of junk in your hand. They really did think of everything.
She said she'll be in touch.
It takes you a moment to remind yourself how to operate this thing, and you find that its phone book is blank. There's no Wi-Fi connectivity and no saved messages. It's got a version of a snake, though. The bartender is already over at the other end of her domain, taking orders from patrons. With your Anarch contact nowhere in sight, you decide to move on for the night. Hopefully, your educated guesses based on the scraps of info you collected will be enough for Mia to call you. She couldn't have expected me to do a fantastic job, since we know that I'm new to being a kindred. Alright, we were gonna go meet Kara. When you reach the cafe, you're welcomed by the familiar face of the waiter who first led you inside. You exchange looks and nods. He hides his vape pen in a back pocket. Is this the one with the different accents? Or that we haven't met yet? I don't remember. She's been expecting you. Something happened to her car, and she hasn't exactly left her room ever since. He scratches his head, shrugs, and gestures at you to follow him. It's the same route as before. First beyond the locked door at the end of the room with all the computers, then into an endless gray labyrinth. Finally, you reach a door that would look like any other to a random bystander. Of course, by now you know that Hope's Haven lies beyond it. The waiter bids you adieu with an exaggerated bow and starts walking back to the cafe. You enter the familiar room. This time the lights are on inside. Hope is inside, walking around nervously, overseeing every screen on site. When she spots you, she wastes no time on introductions. I am not okay at all.
Kara Montgomery, what do you know of her?
I know the name, not a lot. Heard something.
You could have seen her in listicles such as Top 5 Badass Women in Tech 2018, 12 CEOs who spark innovation through empathy, or 20 entrepreneurs with mysterious ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
You don't get to voice your answer. The question was just a minor courtesy. She has a monologue to deliver and she won't allow any interruption.
20 years ago, she was a failed .com investor. Now she's CEO of a Double Spiral, a brand management startup, working at the crossroads of big data and influencer culture.
The quotation marks are audible, dripping with venom. Thanks, Osborne. Have a good night.
Long story short, she spent years convincing her Camarilla contacts, as in out-of-touch old farts, angry about smartphones, that Kindred can benefit from controlling the internet. Her IT goals have done a lot of research on deepfakes, AI, and machine learning. Her goal is the ability to generate thousands of believably human online accounts. Basically an army of posters that could brute force anything into the mainstream discourse.
The elders took a while to get the concept, but eventually Kara got their blessing. The thing is, she claims her tech is ready to be tested, but it needs one final component to work properly, and that's why Hey, Creature Mirror, thanks for following. She pauses. She proposed a truce. Good news. What truce? Fuck her. That's good news, I guess. Mulk David Chapman.
Yes, but not in the way she expects. She just gave us an opening we can use to fuck her over. Hear me out. She picked a public place in Manhattan, neutral ground where we can meet without the fear that the other party might do something stupid and violate the Masquerade. She wants to just talk. You will go there in my place and listen to her terms. We won't accept them, of course, especially not if she just tried to kill us. You will just steal her voice and walk away.
Steal her voice? You? I'm going alone? Why won't we accept the truce? Wait. I have a few questions, but first off, is a truce absolutely impossible? Context collapsed.
Of course it is. Nice of her to say she wants to bury the hatchet, but just the other night she proved she wouldn't mind burying it in my neck. She doesn't want cooperation. She wants total subjugation. That's not a compromise, that's tyranny. And besides, Kara's the ugliest corporate type there is. One that tries to be the good guy, and even worse, the cool guy. Once you see through her mask, you feel nothing but disgust. But the important thing is, I know how to get back at her. Let me explain the plan.
Revenge plotter.
You see, there is only one way to even the odds. We have to hit Kara where it hurts, and she's only got one weak point. Double spiral headquarters! Oh! Kara's the only person there with access to every room. The security is something she came up with herself. Voice-based. But based on a different password phrase every time. That means just recording her talking is not enough if we want to get in. That's why I started selling illicit materials to people with access to advanced deepfake audio technology.
I hear that you're doing a one-shot Vampire the Masquerade play with that bronze girl. Yes, we've done it a few times. She's so much fun to play with.
I've got it right in this room, and now all I need is a sample base that will allow me to manufacture a bot that talks like her. To monitor data, I need to stay behind. Still, I think the plan is pretty simple. You talk to her while wearing a wire, I process the recordings, hear it to steal her voice, and voila! She's wide open.
Whenever someone mentions Spiral in a name in World of Darkness, I get real squinty at them. I really want to play the RPG so bad. Yeah, you should. Then we invade Double Spiral and destroy it from within. The evil is defeated. I become a part of your crew. Happy ending for everybody. How does that sound to you? Won't I be in danger? Will she even talk to me? Or sounds fun? She wanted to talk to you. Why would she talk to me? Yes, she's too stuck up to talk to a total rando, but given an opportunity to get Sophie Langley's right hand on her side, she won't let it pass her by. Sounds like him from Powerpuff Girls. So what I love about Hope is that Hope's voice changes based on which alias she's using. Right now, it's Revenge Plotter. And even if you weren't a minor celebrity in this city, I'm sure our connection would have been enough to hear you out. Hope shakes her head and claps her hands. When she speaks up, she sounds different, more spaced out, stuttering. Antisocial engineering.
All right, let me fix you up with the hardware.
She hands you a minuscule earpiece and starts attaching a small decorative pin to your clothes, along with some mast wiring.
It's a direct microphone. I can clean up the audio later, but I keep it pointed directly at Kara as much as possible, alright?
You put on the earpiece she gave you. It fits snugly deep inside your ear. Your right ear.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
The hardware works flawlessly, and the audio quality seems great. You give Hope an affirmative sign with your head. Ah. Revenge plotter again. Beautiful. Gara designated the meeting place as the Vessel. You've heard about the place, right? It's right by the eastern end of the Lincoln Tunnel. A giant pile of staircases, basically impossible to miss. Manhattan's answer to the Eiffel Tower, or a gaudy monument to being only ever so slightly free, depending on who you ask. I'd drive you there, but my car is still in the shop, and I don't want to risk being spotted by Kara's people, and I need to process the voice data from here. It reminds me of I Had a Stroke guy from The Simpsons. Yes! There are YouTube videos on how to play vampire, yep. I believe Geek and Sundry has a few. With Bronze Girl, I think. Which means I have a perfectly acceptable number of excuses for not letting myself get anywhere close to the demonic old hag. You involuntarily roll your eyes a little bit. Hope sits in front of her screens, pretending not to have noticed. So, should we get this show on the road, or what? Ready whenever you are. No sense lingering here. You get back to the street and find your car. Wrapping up this show as quickly as possible sounds like a good idea. Around 30 minutes later, you're in front of the Vessel. Hope's description, a giant pile of staircases, wasn't particularly helpful. From the distance, the building looks more like a giant honeycomb designed to swarm with tourist bees. At least during the day, that is. At the moment, the place is closed to the general public. A few men who look vaguely threatening and out of place are making sure nobody unwanted gets in. However, you have no problem getting up the stairs. All it takes is an exchange of knowing glances with one of the guards. You are expected. And now she's Jiminy Glick. Amazing. A lone figure appears in your sight, staring down at the streets of Manhattan. Oh, right. You know, city people often complain about being unable to see the starry skies, but I always thought the real tragedy was how they're unable to appreciate the man-made sea of lights that surrounds them. You can teach people a lot of things, but you can't teach them to see, huh? You recognize the face from Hope's phone. Finally, you meet Kara Montgomery in the flesh. She turns to you, puts on a wide smile, and shakes your hand with a firm grip. First, a representative of Sophie Langley. Now, a representative of Hope. Not the way I developed my own career, but I gotta say, not many neonates get around the way you do. At Contents Under Pressure. Hardy fucking har! Hope speaks up to you in your ear for the first time, seething with contempt. Although Kara couldn't possibly have heard her, she immediately goes to address her absence. Can't say I expected her to actually arrive here, with you or instead of you. On the other hand, I'm sure every single word I say will be instantly relayed to her. Chinese Democrat. And for the first time in forever, your empty blabbering will serve an actually useful cause. So let me make sure we cut out everyone but the middleman for a while, okay? She takes out her phone and taps the touch screen. In a few seconds, the barely perceptible buzzing sound in your ear disappears completely. Oh. You can't hear Hope anymore. It's probable she can't hear your voice right now either, which would mean she must be busy raging and cursing out everything in her sight at the moment. Thank you for following. Kara's got some tricks. This obviously wasn't something she expected to happen. Could it be that Kara saw through your plan? You have to play it cool and see what happens next.
Knowing Hope, you've probably heard whatever scraps can be Googled about me, and a pile of insults for good measure. Obviously, I know everything there's to be known about you as well, Foxglove. I don't believe we have a need for formal introductions, but first off, let me apologize for the discomfort of my former employee has caused you. I wasn't remotely aware of his planned actions against Hope. I fully condemn them. I'm glad to see you are unharmed. And, of course, I applaud your swift disposal of the psycho. Langley chose you well.
Brief silence.
So let me cut to the chase here and present myself the best way I know how, through my ideas. Who do you think has a monopoly on reality?
Buy a stolen tag. Yay. Not much for small talk, is she? Who do you think has a monopoly on reality? Corporations. We do. The state. We do. Kara raises her eyebrow.
Now that's a platitude if I've ever heard one, unless you mean us as in the kindred. A monopoly is a bit much, but yes, we've been pretty adept at controlling the narrative regarding our existence throughout the ages. Too bad we've started slipping up recently.
Definitely not the Malks. Yeah, we don't control reality at all.
We were completely unprepared for the information era, and the existence of the Second Inquisition is a direct consequence of that. So many final deaths that could have been avoided. But unlike Hope, who decided to separate herself from this shit show and criticize from a safe distance without offering any solutions, I'm here to take matters into my own hands.
She signals to someone behind you. For a while, you've been watched by Kara's men who circle around the staircases, presumably her ghouls. One of them sets off downstairs.
You know, Bolivia just had a military coup. Hundreds of new accounts posting about nothing but Bolivian politics in English set out to convince every random person online that the US wasn't to blame. Sloppy work, if you ask me. Now imagine this, a 17-year-old K-pop fan from Ohio writing an entire thread about how her relatives in La Paz are actually glad the president is gone. A film reviewer with a side interest in politics selling you a CIA-approved narrative about Eva Morales. An approachable fitness guy explaining the situation to you in simple terms, just like it is.
I'll make sure to check my email. Thanks, Kara. Animated voice, expressive gestures, and steady eye contact. She's taught herself how to project a good image, but isn't a natural yet. At times, it feels as if she's screaming at you to trust her.
It's not hard to emulate the masses. Reach out to one of those Eastern European troll farms and bang! A few hours later, you have a clone army that will instantly voice their support for any cause. You will spread your message, but you won't foster a new culture that serves your goals. Won't masquerade your messaging as independent thought. For that, you need personalities, not the masses. But the ability to emulate personalities? A whole different ballgame. Not a craft, but an art. You need to understand your fabrication so deeply that you start to hate it, and then learn to love it.
The hair is very David Bowie.
And if you want to make a bunch of these personalities follow one agenda, you need a once-in-a-lifetime team to achieve that. A like-minded artistic collective, both ambitious and obedient.
Even though you can't hear Hope's voice in your ear right now, you could swear you hear her in Kara's speech. It's the exact same tone she was using when monologuing in the car. One of them must have been a big influence on another. Or perhaps they used to be in a position where they both shaped each other's personas? Hard to say. Only one thing is for sure, and that is, Hope must be absolutely furious right now. Is it possible that Kara knew about her plot? Fingers crossed she doesn't. Hey, Canadian Kaz, I'm doing well, thanks. Oh, I've got magic juice. Oh, I can turn invisible. Still not over it.
The state is satisfied when an account that went unused for 5 years suddenly starts yelling imperialist propaganda into the void. The aging corporations are too set in their ways. But imagine a fresh startup that enables the proliferation of ideas adjacent to the prince's plans for the future. Now imagine it getting into bed with the biggest corporations and agencies. So many unlives that could be improved or even saved from the rights of First Light. I have the infrastructure. I have the elders' support. All I need now is a mastermind at the center of it all.
The mastermind? You mean... Hope.
Yes, Hope.
She looks down and takes the scenery below for a while. Then she points at her t-shirt, the one piece of clothing that clashes with the rest of her outfit.
You know, I'm a huge fan of punk. The leading idea of my company, Double Spiral, is to make everything I do a little bit punk. I'm all about clashing ideas. I'm all about disruption.
Alex gave me an idea for X fanfic. Yay! I don't think there's enough X fanfic. That's just my personal opinion. A communist vampire. Hey, everyone coming in. Hello, hello. You blink a few times in quick succession. Oh God, you think to yourself, she's that kind of person. You saw a lot of them in your old life. Another rich idiot who thinks deals are an art form too, hell-bent on perverting the meaning of any piece of actual art that hasn't been thoroughly ruined by the art-hating dystopia that surrounds you. I'm writing a series of 10 mini X fanfics just for me, thank you. Yay, welcome Manadela. Manale Dada. You collect yourself and escape from memory lane. Kara's started talking about Hope, so you'd better listen.
To me, Hope is as punk as it gets. A free spirit, fiercely independent, an eternal contrarian, at odds with everything and everyone, developing her talents just because she finds it joyful. But God, does this girl need guidance? Not putting her talents to better use, rotting away, posting inane bullshit all the time? What a waste. I have built an environment specifically to develop her talents and let her become indispensable to our society. But she rejects it because some idiotic hang-ups. I don't expect you to change your mind about me just because I kept yapping and yapping. I just hope you'll keep my perspective in mind and serve as the voice of reason Hope really needs right now. Now that I've had my say, how about we put our girl back on?
She taps on her phone again. A quiet buzz reappears in your right ear. To Kara, you're bluffing? To Hope, are you there? Or don't say anything. I think... Don't say anything. 5 extremely long seconds of radio silence. At investigate double spiral now.
I'm here. Keep talking. Don't worry. She should have heard everything. I just wanted to spare you an annoying commentary track while I introduce myself. Excuse me for a second.
One of Kara's guards approaches to show her something on his phone. Hope uses the distraction to get you up to speed with how things are on her side. At Hate America Beat.
Yeah, for a second there, I was about to rage that the hag has gotten the better of us, but hey, go figure. She just wanted to take the piss in my Cheerios. Wait, take a piss in my Cheerios. The plan worked. I have a lot of data from her monologue and then some private sources. But the more we gather, the better. This display here says some more K letters could be useful. So, don't beat yourself up about it if you fail, but if you get her to repeat something with K in it, that might improve our deepfake voice.
Yay. Oh, catch up on Ellie by Night, please. And this Sunday is Vampire the Masquerade Long Beach by night. And then after that, I'll be doing a stream over at Hyper RPG for Altered Carbon. That'll be on February 5th. Looks like Kara's done talking to the guard.
Sorry about that. Looks like I've got to attend a sudden meeting with Google representatives shortly.
Hope snorts. Not bragging, though. By the way, does anyone but Hope know about all this little rendezvous? Your patron? About any other companion? Or maybe the Nosferatu? Wait, am I talking to myself? Or... the Nosferatu is... So what if I say it's the Nosferatu? Kara's face takes on a hard expression. When she starts talking, she takes great pains not to say too much.
Word of advice, kid. Kaiser's not in the business to be kind to strangers. Kaiser's only got Kaiser's interests in mind, and nothing else. He might not let it show, but he's always in a kill-or-be-killed mindset. If you're doing business with him, keep that in mind at all times.
Hope lets out a quiet, triumphant howl. Well, the screen tells me this should be all the K we need. Good job! Got her to say K! Kara decides to change the subject.
Anyway, no offense, but since Hope's not here, I really have to rush. Honestly, I feel a little insulted that she set up this meeting and didn't even bother to show up.
Insulted and suspicious, her tone of voice betrays her. She might have some good instincts. Too bad she didn't trust them here.
Still, out of respect for Langley, I decided to have this talk with you, to explain to you why I'm an asset to the Camarilla, and to explain why the elders need hope by my side.
Investigate Double Spiral now.
What the worm-brained hag here forgot to mention is that the elders don't give a shit about me. Even if you don't see it my way now, I believe I've sown some seeds here that might sprout in the near future. Double Spiral looks out for people who look out for it, is all I'm saying. But before I leave, there's one thing I really wish I knew. Back when I knew her, she was a different person. Or different people, depending on how you look at it. Why does she fight against me so much? What's her motivation to resist so much?
What's her motivation? Good question. She's never shared it with you. At VVVVVV. Answer whatever you want, but A, you better lie through your teeth. B, get her to say V a few times if you can, and it might improve a few shortcomings of our deepfake software. What's your answer? Survival. One word. Payback? Retribution? Love. I think survival is good, and it might get her to repeat it. Survival. Kara snorts.
Spare me. If she just wanted to keep pulling through, she'd have a much better chance by my side. Pride or spite would be far more believable as an answer. Should have told me you either didn't know or didn't trust me.
Survival. V times 2. Good attempt, at least. But I did do 1 V. One of Kara's people erupts with a theatrical cough. Kara gestures at him to calm down.
I really need to go now. See you around, Foxglove.
She begins to walk down the stairs, surrounded by her guards. Once she's gone from before your eyes, Hope decides to summarize your mission. At Tradcath Thought. For the love of Christ. Wish you could have kept her droning on for a little longer. Turns out the T letter could have used some improvements as well. Not complaining though, you did good. Don't worry, the data I have should be more than enough to generate a convincing deepfake. I just need to put in some more work. So I guess I will get to that right away. Enjoy the rest of your night. Drop my hardware at your haven when you get a chance. Thanks. I'll let you know when we're ready to hit Kara's base of operations. Pray for my success, sweetie, and I might be done soon. Maybe even tomorrow. And once we're done with her, we'll talk about how I can repay your generosity. Amen. The connection drops. It looks like that's all for now. You gaze at the sea of lights around you for the last time, and then start making your way back to the street level. Okay, we've got about 20 minutes left in the stream. I'm going to be forwarding over and raiding another channel in the community. So let me know who you think we should raid and who will be online at 6 o'clock Pacific time, so in about 20 minutes. But first, I'm going to go rest, and I have a feeling something might be happening. A piece of paper is sticking out of your mailbox. It's a computer printout, a note, and a screenshot from Google Maps. It reads, "Meet me at the indicated spot tomorrow at 10 p.m. I'll pick you up, and we'll take it from there." No signature. The place marked on the map is the lookout point near Pier 1, just next to the Brooklyn Bridge. You check the phone that Mia passed on to you. No new messages, no missed calls. It's all a bit fishy. But there's only one way to find out who addressed this to you. Ooh. Hope is like something out of an old cyberpunk novel, and I'm loving it. 16-year-old me would have a huge girl crush. I love Hope so much. I think it's a great concept. Looks like tomorrow evening has become planned out for you. You go downstairs as soon as you wake up. One more glance at the phone, but no news from Mia. You take the car down to Brooklyn, park on Front Street, and approach the meeting spot cautiously. A figure of about Mia's size is standing there, dressed in an oversized jacket and looking out toward Manhattan. As you approach, you can hear her muttering something. "It is true, but I do not think it true. If I do not think it true, then it cannot be true. And if it cannot be true, then..." Is that you, Mia? Are you the one who left the note? I'm supposed to meet somebody here. Hey, I'm meeting somebody here tonight. I don't suppose that would be you. Never a dull moment when you're dead. The woman turns around. It's not Mia. Whoever it is, you've never seen her before. She looks perfectly plain and unmemorable. Why, yes, it's me. We are meeting now. You are meeting me. I am meeting you. Such a joyous occasion. You turn around. 3 men, all of them burly and threatening, approach you. One of them takes the lead.
"So, you got the message?"
I did. Who are you? What is this about? Cut the crap. What's this about?
"We're taking a trip, friend. The boss wants to meet you."
Kaiser? Callahan? Torque? Okay. Let me think. If this is Mia, did I meet her through the person through Torque? No, that was a different one. I think this is Kaiser. Kaiser's the Nosferatu? Let's try Callahan. That feels right. Callahan?
"That's Boss Callahan to you, fuckface. I suggest you get a move on. We got places to be."
The voice of the woman keeps creeping into your consciousness, the litany of gibberish ever present throughout this entire conversation. The man cracks his knuckles.
"Whoa, we could do it the hard way."
Celerity, escape the trap. Fight back or agree to go with them. Let's see. I think I should try to get out of here. Let's go. Coming here was a mistake. It's time for you to blow this joint. Your muscles tense in preparation for a sprint that will take you away from this place and back inside your car. An angelic voice fills your head. It's the woman. She's captivating, and you can see it now. You can't take her eyes off of her. You don't want to leave her. You need to see her features. Clearer, closer. A stake slams into your chest. Ah! Oh no. Atlanta by Night is doing Vampire too. Oh, great. Great. Yes, thank you, Phoenix Goth. The man who talked to you appears before your face, smiling a crooked smile.
Funny thing, I thought he was making a run for it. Whatever. Load him into the boat, boys.
You're barely conscious. It's impossible to tell where they're taking you or how long it will take. Yikes. A sucking sound and the clear sensation of having a cavity in your chest that wasn't there before. A deep voice breaking through the oblivion you're returning from.
Vincent, my boy, truly are a nuisance sometimes, but you do get the job done. That's why I respect you.
Thank you, boss.
Sight comes back to you. The owner of the deep voice is a curious sight, dressed in what can only be described as Victorian clothing, with a monocle and graying red hair. Is this Callahan?
Oh, there we go. Coming to, are we? Heard you're a spirited one, eh? Vincent, is this fledgling spirited, would you say? Yeah, boss. Sure. Spirited. I believe you already know who I am.
You're Boss Callahan. You're the Anarch Baron. You're a dumb-looking motherfucker. They staked me. I'm tempted to say, nope, just that you're a dumb-looking motherfucker. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. A fist hits your stomach like a meteor. Oof. Were the hit any harder, you're pretty sure your spine would snap like a twig.
Much obliged, Vincent. Let's get these pleasantries out of the way, shall we? I am Douglas Callahan, the Baron of New York City. You shall refer to me as boss. Everybody who knows what's good for them does. Now let me make myself perfectly clear. I am disappointed in you. Truly disappointed. But I arranged this meeting to allow you to make amends. First, though, I have to make sure you understand what your infraction was. So, do you know why you're here?
I feel like you're dying to tell me. Because I work for Sophie Langley, because I wanted to meet with Torque. I'm not giving them any information. I can't help but feel like you're dying to tell me.
Don't get smart with me.
He takes your face in his hand, while Vince holds you in a tight grip. He squeezes hard and looks you deep in the eyes.
Torque is the reason you're here. Well, that little angry strumpet of his, I'm told, yes? Mia! Oh, I'd love to get my hands on her gaunt neck and wring it until it breaks. But see, I'm a statesman, and that's not the prudent thing to do. No, indeed, the prudent thing to do is tolerate both her and that blasted ebony-skinned mentor of hers. You folk call yourself Afro-American, correct? Bah, back in my...
I don't like this. I'm not gonna say it. Finish with your disgusting rant.
Oh, fledgling, you have no idea who you're messing with.
Ah! I'm gonna kill this man. He looks at you with rage in his eyes, and you feel insignificant and vulnerable. An irrational fear takes over you. You cannot speak up against this man again. You just can't. He's too terrifying.
Now that I have your full attention, I will request something from you, and you will obey me to the letter. But that comes later. First, you will answer a few questions. The first of which is, who pointed you to Mia?
Nobody. It was my idea. Asshole.
Oh, really? And what was your intention behind the meeting?
I needed Mia's help. He already knows I wanted to contact Torque, so I might as well confirm. I wanted to contact Torque. I had to go through Mia.
Ah, yes. The so-called veteran loves to use petite girls to hide behind, I heard. That would check out. What did you end up discussing?
She wanted me to do her a favor. I wanted her to explain the anarchs to me. Yeah, that's good. Play ignorance. So I asked her about the movement.
Oh, child, you should have come to me then. I am the anarch movement in New York City. Nobody makes a secret out of it. You bet on the wrong horse, as I'm sure you'll soon learn. See, that wasn't hard, now was it? Of course, I can't be sure of how much of what you told me was true, and how much of it is worth about as much as yesternight's horse shit. I am the anarchs. But I will find out. I always do. And when I do, we'll have another one of these nice talks. And maybe, just maybe, you'll avoid this upcoming unpleasant episode next time.
He gives Vince a sign, and the burly man starts hitting you all over. You feel teeth, ribs, and fingers break. Your foot is mangled under Vince's boot. Your shoulder dislocated, your nose wrecked.
That's enough, Vincent. Let them be.
He snaps his fingers in front of your face a few times and checks if you can focus on his face. You can, but barely.
I am a man of principle. Another night, I would perhaps put you in a casket, dip it in concrete, and dump it in the Hudson. A favorite of mine during the Roaring Twenties. It's been a while. But, like I mentioned before, I am nothing but prudent, and so the interests of this city's kindred must come before my own needs and wants. I will therefore let you continue your existence. This dude is the worst. Here's what I require in return for the spoon. You are forbidden to meet Torque. I will keep an eye on you and on him. If you want a place with the anarchs, you go through me and only me. Got it?
The 20s, no wonder he's a raging racist dingleberry. Yeah.
You have to understand. What I make my associates do to you tonight was just business. We can still work out a mutually beneficial relationship. In fact, it's either that or your final death.
Ooh. He's probably, even from before, as his clothes were described as Victorian. Yeah.
Time to go, Vincent. Take the boat back. Leave the fledgling here. I think they have a lot to think about. Sure thing, boss. Pleasure making your acquaintance.
Callahan walks away, as do Vincent and his band of thugs. You lie on the ground for a while longer, feeling the blood slowly putting your body back together, your hunger growing. You hear the beast calling, for sustenance, for safety, for revenge, a distant but pronounced third desire. It's not until you mend yourself enough to appear more as a mugging victim than an impossibly mangled walking cadaver that you hail a passing taxi passing. You hail a passing taxi passing and head back to your haven. Passing. The whole way there, you are tempted by the beast. Your driver, a 30-something with a strong Slavic accent and an unpronounceable name on his ID, well, unpronounceable to me, maybe, keeps asking if he should drive you to the hospital. You keep declining, all the while thinking that if you only asked him to pull over for 5 minutes, you could feast on his warm blood to the beast's content, drink him whole, nobody would know. You are tempted by the beast tempted. Nobody but his wife and kids, if he has them. Nobody but his boss and co-workers. Nobody but you, as you look in the mirror tomorrow. Oops. Keeping your hunger at bay was never before as difficult as it is tonight. The driver stops at your apartment building. There's nobody around. You can do it. Do it. Now. Now! Give in. Give in. The driver opens the door for you, asks if you're all right. His words change to a muffled shout. He goes silent. You think he tastes great? As great as a tired, caffeine-pumped taxi driver with high cholesterol can taste. Warm blood pours down your throat and flows into your limbs, mending them. He's growing cold, but you still do not have control. You are still observing, not acting. Your body is not yours. The beast is in charge. Regain control or let the beast have its fill. Let's regain control. That's enough. No, it's not. Uh-oh. I said that's enough.
It will never be enough.
Enough! You break away from the man. He's dazed but conscious. He groggily says something about feeling tired. You leave the money on the driver's seat and let him rest in the back. The 4 familiar walls of your haven are a blessing. The beast inside you keeps nagging, but you have reined it in tonight. Not a small feat, given your state. You are still weak. You're still not quite mended. You need to rest. Tomorrow, you will have to feed again. Poor taxi driver. He was passing by passing. Tomorrow, you will have to consider your next move tomorrow. Callahan is not the kind of man who quits, but tonight, you rest. Well, that is a perfect place to stop for today, I think. I'm going to say, hey, Aaron Exit. Thank you guys so much for the stream. I really enjoy this visual novel. It's great to sort of delve into the different side of Vampire the Masquerade that you don't get to see with LA by Night or even Long Beach by Night. Like things with the Camarilla and stuff is really interesting. Thank you, and thanks to the mods as always for helping me out. Thank you, Phoenix Goth. Thank you, Not Always Weak. You're always so amazing every week. This week, let me think. I don't think I have a lot coming up, but next week gets a little crazy. This Friday is the episode 1 of LA by Night. That will be at on the World of Darkness Twitch channel. I don't remember the time, but it's on Twitter. It's all over the place. But that's this Friday, the 31st, and we'll be in the Discord and live tweeting, I believe. And then on Sunday, February 2nd, I'm going to be doing Long Beach by Night, which is over at Q Times. So it's their season 2 premiere, because I premiered as Joseph Pander in the season 1 finale and kind of messed up their game. So yes, I will be doing a watch along for LA by Night, but I'll be tweeting or Discording. Yes, I will check my Twitter DMs when I get a moment. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to put in a raid to, what was it, Atlanta by Night? ATL ATL by Night. That looks right. You cannot raid this channel. Oh, hey, Alex. I think I might have put it wrong. Who's on right now that we should raid to? Dun-dun. Yay! Other than that, I do. Oh, Party Whip is doing vamp. Oh, okay. Let's do Party Whip. Party Whip games, right? Channel is intended for mature audiences, which we all are. Take care. I'll see you on Friday. I'm so excited. Yay! Okay. Give Party Whip Games our love, and we'll see you later. Fan raid!